11:43 p.m. You open your bank app. The number on the screen is $1,247. Not your savings, your total balance. You're standing in a grocery store line, doing math in your head, and you quietly put the name brand coffee back. You don't say anything. You just reach for the store brand. And that small moment is the beginning of everything.
Most people think this story ends with $1 million and a view from a penthouse. It doesn't. It ends somewhere much quieter, much lonelier, and no one, absolutely no one, prepares you for what that actually costs. Today, we're going to walk through 5 phases of what really happens when you become the first person in your bloodline to win the financial game. Not the Instagram version, the real one. Phase 1. When money is purely emotional. At 0, every expense is a crisis. A car repair isn't an inconvenience. It's a personal failure. You believe, deeply, completely, that if you just hit a number, the suffocating stops. You think wealth is a destination where you finally get to just be yourself without the noise. And then you get that first raise. $6,000 more a year. It feels like a fortune for exactly one afternoon. Then the brake pads go, $900. And the breathing room you made for yourself, gone. Here's what hits you. Your salary isn't a floor. It's a ceiling dressed up to look like one.
This is where you make the first real choice. Not a business decision, a personal one. You stop spending money to maintain your social image, and you start protecting capital to build options. You say no to the destination wedding you can't afford. You say no to the group dinner where you somehow always end up covering everyone else's drinks. You feel the friction in your friendships. No one says anything directly, but something shifts, and you stay quiet about it because you've realized something uncomfortable. Being fine is the biggest trap of all.
Phase 2, the day you hit $1 million. It's a Tuesday, no ceremony, no call, no one shows up. You look at the screen, $1,040,000. You thought you'd feel different. You don't. You just feel a quiet, almost clinical intensity. And then you run the numbers. A 4% return on $1 million is $40,000 a year. That's not freedom. That's a starting point. And this is where the identity crisis begins. You stop going to the networking events, the get-rich seminars. You don't need them because you're now in a different conversation. That conversation happens in smaller rooms with fewer people. And here's the part that no one talks about. Most of the people you grew up with aren't in those rooms. They're still in the grocery store line, still doing the math. You want to reach back, pull them forward, but you can't close a context gap with a conversation. Phase 3, the isolation of the untranslatable. Your world has changed. The things that now occupy your mind, tax structures, regulatory positioning, asset allocation, they don't translate to your old life. There's no bridge. You go back home for the holidays. The air changes the moment you walk in. Your phone rings constantly now, but the calls aren't from friends. They're from people who want your signature, your name, your money. And the friends you've known for 15 years, they start choosing their words carefully. They laugh at jokes that aren't funny. They agree with things they used to argue about. You've lost something most people never think about losing, the right to be corrected. You are now the deepest pocket in the room, which makes you the primary target for everyone's expectations. Not their honesty, their expectations. That's a very different thing. Phase 4, the decisions that would have scared you 5 years ago. You see a company restructure. Hundreds of people let go. You don't call the CFO. You check the margin profile. Your position increased. The distance between your decisions and their consequences has widened. You don't feel bad about it. You don't feel good either. You just feel the distance. And then your brother stops calling. Not to argue, just stops. You sent money to help with his mortgage. He saw it as an insult. He can't unsee your success, and you can't unsee his struggle. He tells your cousins you've ruined the family. He leaves before dessert at every holiday dinner. The family that once fit around a kitchen table now requires careful logistics just to be in the same room. And no one taught you this was part of the price.
Phase 5, the machine. You reach a level where the game no longer needs you fully present. You built something that runs while you sleep. You wake up wealthier than when you closed your eyes, and you walk through your house at 3 a.m. because you can't sleep, and the only sound is the faint hum of the security system. The cameras track your movement. You stop, they stop.
You have 63 people working for you, but you are the only one who truly lives there. You go outside, the stars are the same ones you looked at when you were broke. The silence is the same silence. Everything underneath them, completely different.
You used to lie on the roof of your old apartment. Rent was late. You didn't care. Now, you have everything. And you finally understood something that took years to see clearly. Money was never the destination. It was the proof of concept.
Here is the real insight. Wealth is not what you accumulate. It's what you no longer have to do. But to get there, you have to accept the cost of the trade. And the trade isn't just hard work. It isn't long hours. The trade is the gap between who you were at $1,247 and who you have to become to manage $100 million. The machine doesn't ask if you're ready. It doesn't ask if you're okay with your brother not talking to you. It doesn't care about the relationships you'll lose, the version of yourself you'll leave behind. It just takes whoever shows up consistently without flinching. If you stay in the game long enough, the money compounds, but so does the distance. You didn't just build a bank account. You built a new life, and the old one is gone. The grocery store line is still there. The 24-year-old is still doing the math, and the machine is still open, waiting for whoever shows up next. The question was never whether you could make the money. The question is whether you're willing to become the person who has to live with it.